って僕はこれだけ？
何してるんだ？
いや忘れ物を。
忘れ物？ん？
これはブルーチェです。
So I'm 90% positive I said this already during last week's review of episode number 3. We're now on episode number 4 of Dangers in My Heart, and I'm going to reiterate the same thing in case there's somebody who came by here for the first time and you're just watching my episode 4 review. You came up on your feed or your For You page or your home page or whatever they call it now. What's up? I'm Dom from the Otaku Room. Appreciate you being here. Give me that big old fat like Yamada's big old Dunkin' Dunk. All right. So the thing I said last week is there's something special about this anime, and it's slow, and not a whole lot happens. But there's something like captivating and alluring and addictive of the show. Like, I am fully bought in. I am fully engaged. I am not bored. And I just like the pacing. And it's weird because in a generality, it's slow. It could be perceived as boring. And pacing, you might want it to move faster, but somehow I'm completely okay with the pacing, and I'm completely in love with the way it's telling the story so far. And in episode 4, specifically this episode, one of the things that it made me realize a little bit more than the prior 2 episodes, or 3 episodes, was I actually took notice of the OP and the ED. I'll take a moment to talk about the ED. I really love quite a bit because the ED shows more of Yamada's modeling and the different, not positions, but like the different, what do they call it when model, like poses. So the different poses that she has with different clothing, but then it automatically swaps to her eating and gorging out and being the real her with the visuals as well. So like, man, the ED really captures Yamada as a character, and I really like that quite a bit. And as I was watching the ED and thinking back to the episode and thinking back to the prior episodes, this one along with the last 3, is Yamada is a model, right? She is 15 years old. I don't know, however old she is, but she's a young lady. She's a model, and she really reminds me of a character from a video game. And if you guys are familiar with the game, that's Persona 5. If you're not familiar, go play it. One of the best JRPGs ever created. But there's a character in there called 𝐜𝐴𝐷𝐸𝐿, and she's also a model. And there's a scene in that game where another model is asking her, like, how do you get such a voluptuous, beautiful figure? How do you keep yourself in shape? She was like, I have to do this and restrict my diet this. And in the game, the model girl, the Anne is just like, oh, I don't do anything. I just eat whatever I want. This is just how I look. And that other person, the other model girl, begins to hate her, like, this bitch, right? Like, and it's just funny. And this character in Yamada really reminds me of her because, she's always eating. The whole class knows that she has a snack problem. Not many people call her out for it, but she grabbed the pocket and just a ton of wrappers fell out. She's constantly eating candy, eating snacks. There's a cute moment in the episode where Kyoutaro is, walking home, and she's coming out of a convenience store, and she just bought some, like, I don't know, snacks and like some drinks, some like non-healthy, type drinks, like ramen kind of thing. But it was like in like a Kool-Aid bottle thing. I've never heard of the drink before, but she was, she came out of that, and then she proceeded to tell him, like, hey, give me a ride on your bike or whatever. And they shared a really, really cute scene, really cute bike ride. It really got Kyoutaro to come out of his shell a little bit, and I thought that whole scene was cute. But what I loved about it was the fact that she, after coming out of a convenience store, which clearly has snacks and stuff, she requested him to take her to a candy store. So it's like if she doesn't have modeling, candy and snacks are like on her mind virtually 24/7. But yet she's able to keep this, alluring and voluptuous figure that she has. She's also tall, which rides into that as well. As for those of us in the world that are height deficient, that if you're a shorter person, your weight versus the weight of somebody who's 3 inches or 4 inches or 5 or more, you're better, right? If they're taller, then your weight is gonna look different on them, if depending on your height. So she has more room to spread out, basically. But I just found that really appealing as a character, as it builds her. And I like how I can draw inspiration or love for Yamada as a character from another character that I really love from something else, because they share these similarities. And I really like that as well, too. Now, that other character loved food and all the other stuff, too. So I really like that. So I just wanted to say that I'm in love with the anime, and I love that. And I love the ED, and the OP is really cute, too. The rest of the episode was, the episode itself was really cute, It's constantly Yamada and Kyoutaro sharing moment after moment, right? They have a moment, and she's trying to make some kind of like powder snack into milk. Basically, she's trying to make like a strawberry milk type like puree, yogurt type thing, based on like a snack pack and some milk. And they share a moment where they finally go into a science room. There's a really cool moment that they share because she kind of spills it on herself a little bit, and the teacher comes in, and Kyoutaro's like, "Oh, we were," and then he looks at her, and he's like, "No, that's candy," because it could look a little obscene. It could look like something else. He didn't want the teacher to be confused at all in this situation. They share a moment where she asks him to take a selfie again. They also share a moment again where he goes out with his older sister, and he doesn't acknowledge Yamada, but he sees her at this restaurant, like a McDonald's type restaurant there. He sees her, but then he doesn't acknowledge her. But then he's trying to listen into her conversation. But little does he know that Yamada's listening on his conversation, because the reason that she didn't immediately say anything, because she sees him with the girl. And now she was also spying on him to listen. She's like, "Oh, older sister, that I can go in now." They share a moment in the restaurant where she was basically trying to get him to buy her something, like a little like snow cone or ice cream cone or something. And he didn't quite. His brain was 10 steps behind. He didn't quite get it. He finally started to get it, but then he bought one and he couldn't get the words out. And the episode ends with them, saying that, she might join his club, and he kind of comes out of his shell a little bit when he defends her against the teacher. Just moment after moment, and the episode ends with her saying, let's talk more as friends. And there is a common interest that goes both ways between them, and it's just so cute because you have somebody who is very extroverted but doesn't quite understand like cues. Now, I don't want to say social cues, but just like generality, like just like life cues. She doesn't quite get things. She doesn't quite get what her actions really mean to someone else. So you have that, and then you have somebody who really gets life cues and understands how she can misrepresent herself. Like, he could be somebody to really like, hey, don't, you did this. This is what that means. Be careful. He can really put her in the light there. And then from her extrovertedness and his introvert, she can pull him out and, bring more of his personality out. And even this episode, the teacher saw, like, this is the most I've ever seen you talk, bro. Like, I don't even know what you said. I forgive you guys. This is the most I've seen you talk. Good job. So she could pull this other person out of him that he generally does want to come out, but he just can't quite get there yet. So I think that, in a nutshell, is what this anime is so captivating for. It's like it's just a cool thing to see happen naturally and slowly, and it be done well. So Dangers in My Heart episode 4, fantastic, really enjoyed it. I have no bad things to say about it. Really loved it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you don't have anything to say, drop me an emoji. And obviously hit like and subscribe before you leave. Check out the other videos on screen. I'll see you next weekend. Have a good one. Peace.